This video was brought to you by No Limit Gaming, Pixel Palace Games, Heroes in Games, and Worthy Financial.
Hey guys, welcome back to the club. Today I hope to show off my new PK Fire deck list in response to the September 2020 ban list. I know things have been a little bit rough in the past several months due to the coronavirus, and I hope that this can be a great segue out of that hiatus that we've had to take due to the lack of in-person sessions and the other craziness that's going on in our world today. This deck, I believe, has a lot of potential to play at a tier 1 to tier 2 range. In this video today, I plan on not only covering exactly what works in this deck, but also other techs that you could potentially run, and even a couple of combos. So that being said, let's get right into it. Up first, we play 3 Farfa. He's pretty self-explanatory. It's removal. You want to run 3 because in longer, more drawn-out games, as this is kind of like a hybrid combo control deck, you need to make sure that if you can't recur them, then you can get them out of your deck with Tour Guide and Cherubini loops, so I like to run them at 3. Up next, I run 2 Libic. Libic is a combo-heavy piece of this deck. I like to summon this off of Tour Guide particularly because it can help free up like a new Seer or Graph in my hand, and go get around some of the issues with Burning Abyss, which is they blow themselves up when you don't control a Burning Abyss monster. Up next, I've got 2 Skarm. Skarm at 2, in my opinion, is fine. Any more than that, and it just becomes a bit tedious. I understand, in grind games it could be good, but hopefully you're not going to be in those situations nearly as much. I'd rather have 3 Farfa in the deck than 3 Skarm. If you're trying to go for a greater control build, run 3, but with this variant of the deck, run 2. The new bread and butter of the deck, 2 Graph and 2 Seer. These are a must play at 2 each. As for the one-ofs, I play 1 Alec, 1 Calcab, and 1 Barbar, and those are the only other BA names I run in this deck. I feel like any more and it's going to be cloggy. These are really just for the special summon and Barbar for game. Alec can be good at times when you have Beatrice on board, but the issue is that he misses timing frequently. So he's really only best used to prevent, OTKs with Boral Sword, just very small, minimal things that, aren't reactionary. Now to get into the Phantom Knight monster engine, I run 3 Boots and 2 Cloak. I don't believe you need to run Gloves, and the reason why is because with Gloves, he eats up a normal summon, which you really need to save for Tour Guide currently, and with the release of Phantom Rage, you'll want to run Tier Scale at 3 instead. So for the time being, these are really the only PK monsters you need to run. I run a heavier BA lineup than this, than the PK lineup. But the reason why you want to run 3 Boots and 2 Cloak is because Cloak really only should be a means to an end. You want to be either normal summoning Silent Boots and then special summoning a level 3 extender, or pulling this out in response to you making a Bardache so you can special summon it, and that's what Cloak lets you do. You can send that off of Cherubini in one of the combos and search this to special summon if you have another Dark Extender. So this is all you need for the Phantom Knights monster package. Speaking of extenders and starters, first and foremost is Triple Tour Guide from the Underworld. She is a must play at 3. Currently, it is the only true normal summon of the deck. One of the perks of this deck, especially as it is now, is it's very versatile and flexible, so you have a lot of opportunities to go first or second, so losing the die roll isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. And one of the good things about Tour Guide is even if she gets ashed, gammaed, or the like, you run other extenders to get you into the Cherubini play. But first and foremost, this is your combo starter. This is exactly what you need to run and see every single time, so running it at 3 is critical. To follow suit as a way to further extend your plays, I run 3 Psychic Wielder. You want to open Psychic Wielder in addition to one of the PK engine pieces if you have to normal summon it, because this helps you make the Cherubinis. It also helps you get out of sticky situations in case your Tour Guide gets ashed, so it is a very critical piece of the combo. And in case you don't see any of that, but you only get extenders, I run 3 Junk Forward. I will likely be cutting the Junk Forward with the release of Phantom Rage to make way for Tier Scale, so then I have technically 6 normal summons in the deck, but for the time being, Junk Forward is a great substitute, and it's a great way to extend the combo. Additionally, I played 2 Crusadia Reclusia. If you don't already know, this card is very, very good with Cherubini. This gives you not only an extender turn 1 to make rank 3 in Link plays, but this also is a beastly card going second to help break down your opponent's board. So because Cherubini protects monsters that it points to from being destroyed by card effects, Reclusia's effect to target itself to destroy it, and then targeting another card on the field to destroy, does not affect this card, and it's a free pop. In addition, I run 1 Sea Archiver. This really helps extend plays, and you can recycle it constantly by making Dantes and other rank 3s. It's a must-have in the deck, and it's probably my most common send off of Cherubini. And then in addition to that, I run the Danger Engine because in this deck, even though everything's at 1, you can really make good use of it. It helps you link climb, it helps you make those rank 3s, and it really just helps you draw into your combo pieces or other forms of disruption in case you don't see them right off the bat. And last but certainly not least for the monsters, I play 3 Ash Blossom. You can choose to run more combo extenders. With this format, I like Ash. I know that Ash being kind of a meta relevant card and pretty sought after staple might not be within a lot of people's price range right now, and I'm going to go over a couple of budget alternatives here, but that's all for the monsters. I run 1 spell, and that's Foolish Burial. It's kind of self-explanatory. If you need something in the grave and you don't have a way to get it there, this will send it there. Because we're so monster heavy, this is crucial. For traps, I play 3 Infinite Impermanence and 3 Phantom Knights of Fogblade. Because we play the PK engine, we're always guaranteed 2 of these now that Bardache is legal. Opening up a 3rd is just the benefits of good fortune. And then with Impermanence, you're pretty much going to stop your opponent in their tracks. Plus, Impermanence helps get around a lot of problem cards for this deck, such as Shadal Winda. So it's necessary. Now, because I do understand that this is a sort of inaccessible card for a lot of people, you can increase your monster count by playing Effect Veiler. Or in addition, you could potentially run something such as DD Crow, with Orcus potentially coming back into the format. There's a lot of things you can run instead of Impermanence, so don't fret if you can't manage it, not a huge deal. So that was the main deck. The main deck I'm running at 44 cards currently. I don't have very many issues running the above 40 count. Personally, I like it with this deck because it prevents me from seeing like multiple copies of those BA monsters that I run at 2, or seeing multiple Farfas in my opening hand. And that number will only get better with the release of Phantom Rage. I know I'm really excited for it, but it is true that that really will help this deck reach that next level. But for the extra deck, we need to start with one Cherubini. Very self-explanatory here. That's the best opening link monster that you have in this deck. Like its predecessor Dante, this card sends for cost. I can't tell you how many times I've had people, particularly when this card was first released, but still somewhat frequently, they'll either try to Ash, Veiler, or Imperm this, and I guess now they could even try to Gamma it, and I will still be able to send to the grave. So I can really either choose to extend my combo that way and make another link monster such as IP Masquerena, which is the next link monster on this list, or I can set up a defensive play to prep for whatever they might put out the following turn. So if I need to make just a Dante or one of the other rank 3s in this extra deck, then so be it. But for general removal, I run the Nightmare package, so one Nightmare Phoenix and one Nightmare Unicorn. I do not run Cerberus because I feel like it's too slow, and there's another monster in this deck, extra deck, that serves the same purpose. I run one Phantom Knight of Rusty Bardiche because he's at 1. He's mandatory for the deck to function as it does currently. It's good to have him back. Truthfully, he'll probably be banned again soon, so enjoy him while you can. He is a walking +3 that also gives you disruption if you run the rank up magic spell. I personally don't. Now that Azathoth is gone, I personally don't think there's much of a need for it, but if you were inclined to do another alternative, which is a really good tech option in my opinion, I just haven't really fallen in love with it yet, you could get away with disruption during your opponent's turn, but this would require that you play Time Thief Redoer. Of course, you need one Boral Sword and one Appaloosa. With the reprint in the Mega Tins, the Appaloosa should be a bit more accessible. Boral Sword, I understand, is still a little pricey for some people, so truthfully, I would recommend running Borreload. Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax. This is probably my favorite IP Masquerena target because it's super hard to get over. It can't be outed by a lot of boards right now. After coming out with IP, so I personally love it, and it's disruption if your opponent does manage to get rid of it, say with a Dingirsu or something. Moving on with the rank 3s, I like to play one number 3 Cicada King. It's another rank 3 negate that this deck crucially needed. So if you end on 2 Fog Blades, you could either choose to extend into an additional link monster, potentially getting out your Cherubini again with an IP, or you could get an IP with Cicada King out, and Cicada King is going to help you prevent your opponent from making a solid board, as well as those 2 Fog Blades, and one Phantom Knights of Breaksword. So this will help you during your turn extend to break your opponent's board, clearing problematic back row monsters and the like, and set up for your OTK. Now, what you can do with this card for an additional combo is you could use the Rank Up Magic spell to quick effect turn this into your Time Thief Redoer. And instead, I run 3 Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. Personally, in longer games, this is great. Yes, I understand that Seer is back at 2 now, and you really don't need to run 3 because you'll have pretty strong recursion. But I like to run them at 3. It's never let me down. I don't really feel like the extra deck is tight because of it. I feel like I could make cuts elsewhere, potentially even Cicada King if need be, but I run them at 3. The one Beatrice to send anything that you want to. She is a pretty nice defensive beat stick, and I wish she was at more than 1, but we have to work with what we have. And last but not least, the one Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. I rarely make him because he's purely dependent on Beatrice, but when he comes out, it's really funny. So, you keep him in your back pocket just to be safe, but, if you feel like cutting him, you more than certainly can. So as promised, here is the combo section of the video. As I previously stated, this deck is very freeform with its combos. There's many ways that you can get to a pretty solid end board, and that end board does not have to be the same every time to be effective. But let's get started with one of the simplest combos, and that is a tour guide with one extender. This can be any extender. I just like to use Reclusia for its potential for a going first or going second extender. So to begin, we'll normal summon the tour guide, and off the tour guide we'll summon our graph. And using these two, we'll link into our Cherubini. And with this Cherubini now, on the field, use the graph effect to special summon Skarm to a zone that Cherubini points to. This is crucial because the Skarm will help us search for our second turn plays, giving us another tour guide, which will make OTKing much easier. And off of the Cherubini, you're going to send our friend Sea Archiver to the grave for cost. Targeting itself or Skarm, it doesn't really matter. Next, you're going to special summon your extender to a zone that Cherubini points to. And what this prevents is it prevents Skarm from dying because Cherubini will protect it. You can also use Reclusia's effect here if it is a Reclusia, actually in duel, to pop something. This will then trigger the effect of Sea Archiver as a monster with special summon to a zone that Cherubini points to, or I guess a Link monster points to. You can special summon it there. Now, what this will let you do is you can use Sea Archiver if you want to save it, to put it back into your graveyard, and the extender to make a rank 3, or if you wanted to use these two and you didn't care about the Sea Archiver being banished, you could make a Link 2. The combo that I've been doing a lot recently is to make Cicada King. So that way then I can save the Sea Archiver for going second, so I can have an easier time extending and making a really strong OTK board. And from now what you'll do is you'll send Cherubini and your Skarm or any other Burning Abyss monster to the grave to summon Bardache. And you'll do the usual Bardache shenanigans. You can really summon him to either of these, it doesn't necessarily matter, to send one of your 3 copies of Silent Boots, letting you set 1 Fog Blade off of the effect of Bardache, and another by banishing your Silent Boots. So this is a good way to get 3 negates on board, not counting if you happen to have another in hand, or if you happen to have an infinite impermanence in hand. There's another potential card you can summon off of Tour Guide, which is a good tech for this or any other BA deck, and that is Sangan. It's very cheap. It can give you access to hand traps or any other extender that you might need for this strategy. So I'd highly recommend trying it out. I might put that in as a 45th card, truthfully, but it will require a bit more testing just to kind of see the flow of it. So the next combo is, okay, you don't open a tour guide, but you open one of your extenders with one of your Phantom Knight monsters, and truthfully, it's really funny. If you open 2 Phantom Knight monsters, one of them, as long as it's a Silent Boots, will count as an extender. So what you're going to go ahead and do is, you could junk forward if you open it, or alternatively, if you don't open junk forward, you could normal Silent Boots, then special summon the other extender, and then from there you'll go into your Cherubini play. Now, in the case of this combo, if you don't open another dark extender, say like a Burning Abyss name, what you're going to want to do is use Cherubini to send your graph from the deck to the graveyard, and what this combo will do, it's a little bit lackluster, so you're not going to necessarily have the extra link 2 or rank 3, but you will have an extender for the following turn, in that you would search a tour guide or another extender piece. It'll 9 times out of 10 be tour guide, but of course, again, that's situation dependent. And of course, then from here, you'll get your 2 fog blades, one from the PK monster that you already have engraved, and one from the effect of Bardache. Now, in the case of the Bardache effect here, what you'll want to send is your cloak, and banish that, so that way then you have an extra copy of Silent Boots in hand. If you haven't used the effect to special summon Silent Boots, you can special summon it, and if you do have an extra extender, you can make a rank 3 or link 2. But again, it's purely dependent on what you did at the start of the turn to begin the combo, and again, what you choose to do going forward. But this is another somewhat decent play. This is like your backup play in case the first does not work out. So yeah, pretty solid. So this next combo is going to be a little bit of a blast to the future, with this face down card being Phantom Knights of Tier Scale, and this Scarm representing any card to discard. So the way that this will work is you'll normal summon Tier Scale, and you'll activate its effect, discarding any card from your hand, perks if it's a danger card, to then send any PK monster from deck to the grave, and in this case, you're going to send Cloak. In that case, you're going to banish Cloak to search for Boots. Now, Boots, as I mentioned in the previous combo, can special summon itself when you have a Phantom Knight on board, so you'll special summon it, and then, using these 2, you'll make Cherubini. Tier Scale is a level 3, which is a super perk here. Now, what you're going to do, while you have everything set up as it is, you're going to use Cherubini's effect to then send our Sea Archiver friend again from the deck to the graveyard. Now, note, you don't technically need any other extenders here for this play. Without Bardache at all here, this is going to get you at least 1 negate, if not 2, depending on the link, the rank 3 that you summon. So keeping that in mind, you're going to activate the effect of Silent Boots engraved to banish itself. This will get you a Fog Blade and then trigger the effect of Tier Scale engrave, letting you special summon it to the field at the resolution of the effect. So you'll have a floating negate in hand that you'll set at the end of the turn. And you'll have a monster to special summon to a zone that Cherubini points to, triggering the effect of Sea Archiver to special summon itself. So now you can use these 2 to either make a like Cicada King or a Dante, or if it's, you know, going second and you needed to pop something on board, you could make a Break Sword. Or if you didn't necessarily care about either of these monsters, you could banish both, because they'll both be banished when they leave the field, to make a Link 2. Or you could keep the Sea Archiver on field and take this Tier Scale and the Cherubini to make Bardache and get your extra negate on the field, while also giving you an extender for next turn by dumping your grave with a extra copy of Ancient Cloak to search for a Silent Boots on the next turn. This is a very strong combo. It is a 1-card Cherubini rank 3 or link 2. I personally can't wait for Tier Scale to come to us in October or November, whenever Phantom Rage comes out, and that will be my combo of choice if Bardache does end up getting banned again. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you have any other thoughts or opinions as to other texts that could be run other than those mentioned in the video, that would be great. I hope everyone enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.